Imagine waking up one morning and your dog is standing in the doorway with the most serious face ever, saying, "Brother, we need to talk." Not a bark, not a weird noise, a perfectly clear sentence, like a cousin who's finally decided to confess something uncomfortable. And in that moment, only one question starts spinning in your head. If animals could actually talk, what would go down? Picture this. You're at the zoo, scrolling on your phone, and a chimp suddenly glances over and says, "Bro, that iPhone is prehistoric. Upgrade." But here's the real question. Do animals want to talk to us? Or the moment they learn how, will they sprint to Twitter and start liking every secret we've ever tried to hide? Science already tells us some animals are basically beta testing language. Sperm whales might have dialects. Elephants probably have names. Bees send full-on coded messages through dance, like tiny furry Wi-Fi routers. Meaning what? Maybe all we're missing is a decoder, a golden key that could make the whole natural world suddenly speakable. So if we ever unlock that door, how does everything change? And more importantly, are we ready to hear what animals truly think about us? Crows recognize faces and gossip about them. And bees, they literally dance the 3D coordinates of flowers, basically a living offline GPS. So the real question isn't, do animals have language anymore? The real question is, how much of it can we decode, and how much maybe we shouldn't never translate at all? That's why researchers have spent years trying to decode animal communication, and what they found is way stranger than anyone expected. Here's one real example. The CETI Project, an international team using AI to decode the acoustic patterns of whales. And evidence suggests their communication structure is way more complex than we ever imagined, maybe even fully meaningful. Now, let's be honest for a second. If we ever manage to understand animal language, the first creature that would absolutely abuse this power is cats. These beings have been pretending for years that they only make one sound. Meow. I don't buy it. And don't trust cats for a second. They definitely have their own secret meetings. Just imagine your cat suddenly saying, "Stop giving me that cursed dry food. Have some dignity. Bring me a fresh salmon can." You're sad? Your dog goes, "Want to talk about it?" You're irritated? He says, "Look, your negative energy is literally freezing my tail right now. Relax." And that means humans would end up in therapy on the very first day they talk to their dogs. But hold on. Behind all these jokes, there's a genuinely strange scientific truth. Researchers have long said that dogs understand around 100 human words on average. Dolphins go beyond that. A dolphin's brain, relative to its body size, has the highest neural complexity after human. And sperm whales? Let me put it simply. Sperm whales are the old, educated grandfathers of the ocean. And every time they click, it's like they're sending interstellar telegram messages. The SETI project will probably translate its first whale sentence within the next few years. And I swear, the first sentence will be, "Raja, why did you throw plastic in my water?" But we still have limitations. Our brains and animal brains process information in completely different ways. For example, we process language linearly, word to sentence to meaning. Bees process directionally, angle. Elephants communicate using low-frequency signals. Messages so deep we can't even hear them. Crows communicate conceptually. Face, threat, share with others. Which means if we ever want to build a real animal translator, we need a device that can do this. Turn emotion into words, turn direction into sentences, pull infrasound into our hearing range. Now imagine this technology actually exists. A tiny AI earbud that instantly translates any animal nearby. You leave the house, cat. "Where are you going? I still need 3 more rounds of petting." Neighbor's dog. "Hey, buddy, you're stressed today." "What a hog?" Pigeons in the park. Drop the bread and walk away. No negotiation. Especially animals like bees demanding to know the tax rules for flowers. Sharks. "Bro, calm down. I'm not hungry. It's 9 a.m. Monkeys live streaming themselves stealing your script. But wait a second. If this tech really works, what limitations do we need to remove? Up until now, we've only thought, wow, it'd be so cute if animals could talk. But now we're entering the serious part. Why can't we fully understand animal language? And the short answer is simple. Our brains run on completely different operating systems. If I explain it jokingly, humans are Windows, dogs are iOS, whales are Linux, God edition, and cats aren't any system. Cats are a global bug. But scientifically, here's what's actually happening. Human communication is built on syntax plus semantics, structure plus meaning. But most animals communicate through signals, emotion, reaction, output, instead of forming sentences. For example, when a crow calls out, it's saying, "Suspicious human, left side, potential threat, not greetings, fellow crow. Today, I observed a man with negative vibes approaching from the west." And it's not just structure. Physics gets in the way too. Elephants speak at frequencies we can't hear. Whales use long clicking patterns that can last up to 20 seconds. Bees don't use sound at all. They speak in coordinates and dance vectors. Monkeys fire 30 to 50 signals per second, and each one carries an emotional state, not a word. So if we want to translate animal language, we have to convert 4 things: emotion to word, frequency to text, gesture to phrase, instinct to meaning. And honestly, this alone is enough material for an entire PhD thesis. But the real comedy hasn't even started yet. If we build a global translator, we're gonna run into some unexpected problems. Problem number 1, hearing animals' real opinions about us. Cats, you love me? Then why isn't this place up to my standards? Cows, bro, we're gone. So why are you still making this many milkshakes? Chickens, these sandwiches? Seriously? Giraffes, can you lift the camera a little? My neck is dying here. Problem number 2, animals are brutally honest, which means on day 1, we'll be completely exposed. Dogs will expose you. He cried till 3 a.m. last night because his message was left unseen. Cats will expose you. He smells me 5 times a day to check if I'm clean. Crows, this is the same guy who threw a stone at us last year. Stay alert. Problem number 3, animal-to-animal communication is way more advanced than we think. If we ever enter the animal social network, we'd probably find bees on TikTok, sharks in private WhatsApp groups, and monkeys live streaming their crimes like influencers. But here's the bigger issue. Animals don't necessarily want to talk to us. They already have natural social systems, warning networks, and zero interest in politeness. If needed, they won't speak. They'll just stare. But what if these limitations disappear? What if we build an AI that can decode everything? How would the world change? Alright, let's imagine that moment has finally arrived. A major tech giant, let's say Apple, because of course, unveils the world's first animal translator, I Speak Pet, powered by AI and probably some dark magic. Sound quality? Flawless. Price? Ridiculously high. Promo video? A golden retriever saying, "Dad, I love you." And the entire world collapses into tears. On day 1, everyone buys the device. The world prepares for a communication revolution. But no one is ready for what actually happens. Morning, day 1. You wake up. Put the device in your ear, and suddenly your cat says, "Good morning, but you didn't have to wake up at 6. You have nothing planned anyway." You freeze. Your cat continues. "And that message you sent last night that didn't get a reply? Yeah, it wasn't worth it. Let it go." Your neighbor's dog in the hallway goes, "Mr. Alex, you need energy today? Come get a free lick." You immediately turn the earbuds off because you accidentally walked into an animal therapy session. But this is only the warm-up. The streets. Crows on the power line. Again! He's pulling over to the side of the road with the breaker on for 18 minutes. Scorpions. We just want a little privacy here. Pigeons in the park. "Hey, humans, drop the bread and walk away." No question. A squirrel from the tree shouts, "Bro, it's getting cold today. Don't put your potatoes in the fridge. Trust me, I come from a long line of potato experts." And that's when we realize animals are far more involved in our daily lives than we ever understood. But this is still the fun part. Things get weirder when animals start asking questions. Bees are wondering, why did you replace real flowers with plastic ones? Elephants are asking, why do documentaries only show us when we're sad? Sharks are thinking, when did we become evil? We only bite by accident. Chickens are saying, all this fast food, is it really necessary? Humans suddenly understand that animals don't just talk. They think, remember, and judge. And then reality flips. Should courts accept animal testimony? Should we build language schools for animals? Will animals run for political office? The consequences pile up fast. Fish protest ocean pollution. Bees demand lower taxes on honey. Bears complain, stop making us look dumb in kid shows. Pigs yell, delete those sayings. We are not lazy. And the funniest part, animals begin changing laws in their favor. Instantly, monkeys request official banana ownership rights. Elephants demand exclusive lanes on highways. And crows form an official union, the Association of Angry Crows. On the first day of communication, humans realize we spent years thinking we managed animals, but they were managing us all along, just in their own hidden language. And this is only the beginning of global chaos. All right. Now imagine 48 hours have passed. Humans still think they're in control, but the animals, they're just getting warmed up. The first global crisis hits fast. Birds. Because now, birds can finally say what they've been thinking for years. And trust me, it's nothing like those cute internet clips. Crows in every city form a union. CFA. Crow Federation of America. Their first statement, we demand an end to shoe throwing, rock throwing, and the baseless insults toward crow family. Also, please throw better food. Meanwhile, pigeons announce that human airlines are far more dangerous than their own flights. And they launch a global campaign, ban windows, save wings. Translation, your glass is too clear. We keep crashing. But the strangest revolution? Chickens. Before the translator, chickens were just cute little farm creatures. But now they finally understand what's been happening to them. And suddenly, chickens start overthinking everything. Chickens issue a statement, we finally understand the food chain and we have concerns. And a movement arises. Chickens for justice. At the same time, pigs join the fight. Pigs instantly protest the phrase, lazy like a pig, loudly. A pig on CNN says, sir, our IQ is higher than half the people arguing on Twitter. The media explodes. Twitter melts down with hashtags like cats were right and justice for cows. And it's not just the internet falling apart. Global politics collapses too. The stock market crashes, farmers panic, and governments hold emergency meetings trying to decide whether animals can protest, vote, or start charging us taxes for ruining the ecosystem. Animal nationalism rises too. An ONBA, an American bald eagle, appears on CNN and says, "I've been a symbol of freedom for decades. Please stop printing weird logos on us." But the most surprising part, animals start creating their own political parties. The Crow Party, smart above all. The Dog Party, friendship first. The Cat Party, respect the throne. Kids in science class practice conversations with animals when suddenly a squirrel jumps through the window and says, "This lesson is wrong. We don't live like this at all." The world is officially out of control, and it's only day 3. The biggest event still hasn't happened. The one that will force humanity to rewrite its rules of existence. The first 48 hours were just the appetizer. Now we enter hour 72, the moment the world officially enters the animal era. The first major shock comes when dolphins, during an underwater press conference covered by CNN with 12 divers, announced, "We have data on whale migration routes, global warming, and ocean mapping." And honestly, you humans have handled everything terribly. Hearing this from one of the smartest creatures on Earth shakes the entire world. But it doesn't stop there. On the same day, elephants, whose deep, low-frequency voices we can now understand thanks to AI, gather in a national park in Kenya and release an official message. We demand an end to illegal hunting. Also, why do documentaries only show us when we're sad? We're actually very funny creatures. The biggest announcement of all comes from the bees. Through their newly translated dance-to-speech system, bees deliver a global message. If we disappear, 70% of the ecosystem collapses. Protect us, or your food prices will go up tenfold. We do not joke. This is the moment governments finally understand. Animals aren't just cute. They are the backbone of the ecosystem. And now that they can speak, the whole world suddenly cares about what they say. But But the most dangerous announcement comes from the crows. Crows with IQs over 100, capable of using tools. They hold an official press conference. We've been watching you for years. We've seen everything. And when a CNN reporter asks, like, what exactly? The crow tilts its head and says, you know, things. That one sentence is enough to send the entire world into collective panic. But the real climax happens when dogs, humanity's oldest companions, don't turn against us. They defend us. At the Grand Pet Summit 2035, dogs declare, we vote for cooperation with humans. Humans make mistakes, but they are trainable. This statement sends the stock price of the animal translator company skyrocketing, because now the world is certain dogs still love us. But just when things seem to be calming down, the cats arrive. Cats hold a separate conference and issue a global declaration. We are not interested in cooperation. However, you may serve us. And that line becomes the #1 global meme for the next 9 months. At this point, humans finally realize animal speech isn't just a new technology, it's a mental revolution. For the first time, we see that animals, just like any real society, have laws, alliances, and even rivalries. We realized that nature wasn't just nature. It was a full social network we were too blind to notice. And now, the world is ready to move into the next stage, building a shared system between humans and animals. But the biggest question remains, will this system lift us up or tear us apart? The age of understanding.